Hello everyone, welcome to Doctor's Academy for Taxation and Accounting. Through this video, let us learn which are the expenses expressly disallowed as per section 37 2b, section 40 and section 40a. First point is disallowance of expenditure on advertisement in any souvenir, etc. published by a political party, section 37 2b. Any expenditure incurred by an assessee on advertisement in any souvenir, brochure, tract, pamphlet, etc. published by a political party shall not be allowed as a deduction in computing the profits and gains of business or profession. So this is the first disallowed item wherein the assessee has incurred any expenditure or contribution made towards such a kind of activity through a political party, then it shall not be allowed as a deduction. And the second point is section 40 expressly provides that the following expenses shall not be deducted while computing profits and gains of business or profession. In that, there are three types of assessees. One is in the case of any assessee. Second one is in the case of any partnership firm. And the third one is any association of person or body of individuals. In the case of any assessee, payment outside India, any interest, royalty, fee for technical services, etc., which is payable outside India or in India to a non-resident or to a foreign company on which tax is deductible at a source, and such a tax has not been deducted at source or after deduction it has not been paid on or before the due date specified according to section 139(1) shall not be allowed as deduction. So here it says the payment outside India or payment made to a non-resident or a payment made to a foreign company where they are liable to pay TDS, and that TDS not deducted or the TDS deducted but not remitted to the government. Under such circumstance, such an item, such an expenses cannot be deducted. However, if in respect of any such sum, tax has been deducted in any subsequent year or has been deducted in the previous year but paid after the due date specified in section 139 subsection 1, such a sum shall be allowed as deduction in computing the income of that year in which such tax has been paid. So subsequently, if the same thing has remitted, paid to the government, then that expenses will be eligible for deduction. Next point is payment to residents. Any payment to a resident on which a tax is deductible at a source and such a tax has not been deducted or after deduction has not been paid on or before the due date of filing the return of income specified in section 139 subsection 1, 30% of such sum shall not be allowed as deduction. So under this situation, tax has not been deducted or that deducted tax not remitted to the government. And that case, if the payment is made to resident, then 30% of that expenditure shall not be deductible. However, if in respect of such a sum tax has been deducted in any subsequent year or has been deducted during the previous year but paid after the due date specified in section 139 subsection 1, 30% of such sum shall be allowed as deduction in computing the income of the previous year in which such a tax has been paid. However, the payment shall not be disallowed if the recipient of payment has furnished his return of income under section 139. The recipient of payment has taken into account such a sum for computing income in such return of income. He has paid tax due on the total income, and the person making the payment furnishes a certificate to this effect from chartered accountant in the prescribed form. Point 2 says tax on profits and gains. Any sum paid on account of any tax levied on the profits and gains of any business or profession shall not be allowed as deduction. Next is wealth tax. Wealth tax chargeable under Wealth Tax Act shall not be allowed as a deduction. Next point says amount paid to state government. Any amount paid by way of royalty, license fee, service fee, privilege fee, service charge by whatever name called, which is levied exclusively on, or any amount which is appropriated whether directly or indirectly from a state government undertaking by state government shall not be allowed as a deduction. Third point says salaries payable outside India or to a non-resident. It is not allowed as a deduction if tax has not been paid thereon nor deducted at the source. Next is payment to provident fund, etc. Any payment to a provident fund or other funds shall not be allowed as a deduction unless it is ensured that tax shall be deducted at the source from any payment made from the fund, provided it is chargeable to tax. Next point says tax on perquisites of employees. Any tax actually paid by an employer on the value of perquisite provided to an employee which is exempted under section 1010 CC. Point B is in the case of any partnership firm, any payment of salary, bonus, commission or remuneration made by the firm to any partner of the firm who is not a working partner shall not be allowed as a deduction. Point 2 says payment of salary, etc. to working partner will be allowed as deduction only if it is authorized by and is in accordance with the terms of the partnership deed. It is further provided that the terms of partner's deed will not have retrospective effect in this respect. And the point 3 says interest on capital to partners will be allowed at a maximum rate of 12% per annum. The remuneration to partners in the case of working partner, payment of remuneration shall be allowed as follows: on the first rupees 3 lakh book profit, rupees 1,50,000 or 90% of the book profit, whichever is more. Second, on the balance of book profit at the rate of 60%. So this would be paid as remuneration to the working partner, provided if the partnership deed so provides. So this is the allowable amount to working partner with respect to remuneration, fee, salary, commission or whatever name called. Remuneration to partners will not be admissible unless the partnership deed either specifies the amount of remuneration payable to each individual working partners or lays down the manner of qualifying such amount. Where an individual joins as a partnership firm in representative capacity, example, maybe a member of the Hindu undivided family or becomes the partner on behalf of the Hindu undivided family, the payment of salary, bonus, commission or remuneration to him shall be allowed subject to the provisions of the section 40B. Any excess payment shall be disallowed. The meaning of book profit is the profit so arrived in the P&L account should be adjusted or added with the inadmissible item. For example, the inadmissible interest on capital, the inadmissible expenses, remuneration. So such a way the book profit has to be calculated. On the book profit, as mentioned, first 3 lakh rupees 90% or 1,50,000, whichever is more has to be taken. If further balance is there in the book profit, then 60% of the balance value has to be considered for remuneration. The amount which is paid by the firm to the working partner as remuneration, or the amount so calculated, whichever is less will be considered as admissible item. This is the condition. In the case of an association of person or body of individual other than a company or a cooperative society. So in such a case, any payment of interest, salary, bonus, commission or remuneration to a member of such association or body shall not be allowed as deduction. If the association of person or body of individual pays certain amount of interest to a member and the member has also paid certain amount of interest to it, only the net amount of interest paid shall be disallowed. It means that the excess of interest paid by the AOP or body of individual over that received from the member will be disallowed. Where an individual is a member of an association of person or body of individual in a representative capacity, if interest is paid by it to such individual member in his personal capacity, it shall not be disallowed in the computation of the income of the association of person or body of individual. Interest paid to such member shall be disallowed only if it is paid to him in representative capacity. Next point says, where a person is a member of an association of person or body of individual, in his individual capacity, interest paid to such member shall not be disallowed. If it is paid to him in his representative capacity, such as Karta of the Hindu undivided family or a trustee of the trust, it means that interest paid to such a member shall be disallowed only when it is paid to a member in his individual capacity. Commission paid by a firm to proprietary concern of its partner cannot be disallowed under this particular section 40 clause B. Expenses not deductible in certain circumstances according to section 40A. In that, the first point is excessive payment as per section 40A clause 2. Any payment of an expenditure to a relative or to an associate concerned shall be disallowed if the assessing officer consider it to be excessive or unreasonable, having regard to all the circumstances of the case. Here only the excessive or unreasonable part is to be disallowed. The next point is payment in cash, section 40A3. Any expenditure in respect of which payment or aggregate of payments made to a person in a day is made exceeding rupees 10,000 rupees otherwise than by an account by check or otherwise than by a demand draft or otherwise than through electronic clearing service system shall be disallowed. However, where payment is made for plying, hiring or leasing goods carriages, the limit of disallowance shall be exceeding rupees 35,000 instead of rupees 10,000. Payment made to a government concern in cash in excess of the amount prescribed under section 40A3, which is mentioned above, would not be applicable. So, if the payment to government department, government concern in excess of 10,000 rupees in cash in a day shall be permissible and allowable item. Where a deduction of expenditure is claimed in 1 year and the payment is made against such expenditure in any subsequent year in violation of section 40A(3), such expenditure will be deemed to be profit and gains of business of the year in which the payment is made. Exemption to the general rule. In the following cases, even if the payment in cash exceeds rupees 10,000 or 35,000, it is not disallowed and it will be an allowed item. According to Rule 6DD, point 1 is payment made in rural area or small town which on the date of such payment is not served by any bank to a person who ordinarily resides or carrying on any business or profession or vocation there.
Point 2. Payment made to cultivator, grower or producer for purchase of agricultural or forest produce or the produce of animal husbandry including livestock, meat, hides and skins or dairy or poultry farming or fish products or products of horticulture or apiculture products.
Payment made for the purchase of products manufactured or processed without the aid of power in a cottage industry to the producer of such products. Next is payment made to banks or life insurance corporation, etc. Payment to employee or to the member of his family in respect of gratuity, retrenchment compensation, etc., where the aggregate of such sum does not exceed 50,000 rupees. Payment is made to government and such payment is required to be made in legal tender. Payment is made by way of adjustment against the amount of any liability incurred by the payee for any goods supplied or services rendered by the assessee to such payee. Payments which is required to be made on a date on which the banks are closed. Payment is made by an authorized dealer or a money changer against a purchase of foreign currency or traveler's check in the normal course of his business. And finally, payment is made by any mode through a bank. All these circumstances, the amount of ceiling, that is 35,000 or 10,000, would not be applicable. Next is provision of gratuity. Mere provision made for the payment of gratuity to the employees on retirement or on termination of service will not be allowed as deduction in computing taxable profit of the business or profession. Here, provision made for gratuities due during the current previous year or provisions made for making contribution towards an approved gratuity fund will be allowed according to section 40A(7). However, the payment should be made on or before the due date of furnishing the return of income of the relevant previous year. This is as per section 43B. Then next is contribution to unapproved fund, section 40A(9). No deduction shall be allowed in respect of any sum paid by the assessee as an employer towards setting up of or as contribution to any unapproved fund. However, where such a sum is so paid to the purpose of recognized provident fund or statutory provident fund or an approved superannuation fund or approved gratuity fund or towards pension scheme on account of an employee is allowed as a deduction according to section 40A(9). Next is other expenses. In addition to the above expenses, which are expressly disallowed under section 40 and 40A, the following expenses or losses and allowances are also not allowable as a deduction in computing the profits and gains of business or profession. Point 1 is drawings of the proprietor or partners. 2. Personal expenses of the proprietor or partners. Next is capital expenditure. Next is amount paid as charity or presents. Any provision or transfer to reserve except transfer to reserves as provided in this act. Past losses charged to profit and loss account. Any expenditure not incurred wholly and exclusively for the purpose of the business or profession. Income tax, wealth tax and other taxes on income. Expenditure incurred to buy off competition. For example, a sum paid by a company to a retiring director or a managing agent in consideration of their agreement not to compete with the company. Penalties paid by the assessee for infringement of law. Payments made by an assessee in the nature of sharing the profits to the sole selling agents under an agreement are not deductible. Litigation expenses for registration of shares. Contribution to a political party. Insurance premium paid by a firm on life insurance policies of its partners. Expenditure on shifting of registered office. Fees paid for increase of authorized capital. Expenses incurred for acquisition of goodwill. Some paid as compensation to vendor against undertaking not to market milk in Chennai city. The expenditure is of capital nature as the right acquired is of enduring benefit. Expenditure incurred in violation of another statute. Gift made on occasion of marriages in the families of friends and others with whom assessee has business dealings cannot qualify as business expenditure even on grounds of commercial expediency. Where various banks advance the loans to assessee company on basis of its assets offered as security to banks and not on the basis of the personal guarantee of the managing director of the company, guarantee commission paid to managing director would not be deductible under section 37(1) as the business expense. Next point is section 43B, that is deductions allowable only on actual payment. The following deductions are allowable only on actual payment. Any sum payable by an assessee by way of tax, duty, cess or fee. Any sum payable by him as an employer by way of contribution to provident fund, superannuation fund or gratuity fund or any other fund or the welfare of the employees. Any sum payable to an employee as bonus or commission for service rendered, where such a sum would not have been payable to him as profit or dividends if it had not been paid as bonus or commission. Any sum payable by the assessee as an interest on any loan or borrowing from a public financial institution or a state financial corporation or a state industrial investment corporation. Any sum payable by the assessee as interest to a scheduled bank or a cooperative bank other than a primary agricultural credit society or a primary cooperative agricultural and rural development bank on any loan or advance from a scheduled bank or a cooperative bank. Any sum payable by the assessee in lieu of earned leave. Any sum payable by the assessee to the Indian Railways for the use of railway assets. If actual payment is made either during the relevant previous year or on or before the due date for furnishing the return of income under section 139(1), the deduction will be allowed in the relevant previous year. If the amount is paid after the due date of furnishing the return, the deduction will be allowed in the year of payment. No deduction will be allowable under section 43B if interest liability accrued on loan was adjusted in further loan taken from same bank. Hope the concept of expenses expressly disallowed or expenses not deductible in certain cases or deductions allowable under certain particular situation or cases is clear for you. If this video is useful, kindly share it with your friends and others in your contact. If you are watching my channel for the first time, kindly subscribe it. If you have any comment, suggestion, feedback, please leave it in the comment box and please like the video if it is useful. Thank you very much for watching Doctor's Academy for Taxation and Accounting. Thank you very much.